What's up, YouTube? We're back with another 30-minute egg challenge. If you've never seen one of these videos before, pretty much what I do is I've got 30 minutes to make up a team of Pokemon that I'm going to have a battle with, right? Now, these eggs will be randomly traded to me from random people. I'm not allowed to have any nature mints, no dupe Pokemon, no getting rid of a Pokemon, no rebreeding, and no knowledge of what I get. And then I've got to use this team in a Wi-Fi battle, and I've got to get that dub or get a really good battle. Now, on the screen at the moment, these are the 6 random people who traded me the 6 random eggs. This occurred on my live stream, so one time if you do want to come and give me a random egg or just come and drop in on the streams, it's twitch.tv/PIMPNITE. If you want to see these sorts of videos again, make sure you drop a like on the video and maybe leave a little bit of feedback there. These are a really fun series to do. I thoroughly enjoyed doing them. So pretty much here is if I do get another Pokemon that's exactly the same in the egg, I have to obviously get another random egg from the chat, right? And I've got no idea what these eggs are inside. I just get them, I put a code in on my Twitch chat and just, get 6 random eggs and then I hatch them up. So the first Pokemon I got was a Togepi, so like, that's cool. I'm actually really nice. Maybe use a Togetic or something. And then I got a Wooloo, right, which is kind of nice. I haven't used Wooloo for like a little while. Next one we got was Pinchurchin, so that was the third one. And the next Pokemon I got after that was Timber. So like, okay, Timber, that's a pretty neat Pokemon. I had a really cool spread of Pokemon that I actually got. Now the next one was Yanmas, which was really cool there. And my 6th and final Pokemon they got was Goomy. So a really cool team here. So here's a quick little look what the actual stats look like and the abilities. They were kind of bad. Like, some of them had good IV, some of them, well, let's just say they were a little bit subpar. So the first Pokemon I was going to be having a look at was Goomy, right? And I'm thinking, okay, with Goomy, I'm thinking about running a physical Goodra, right? So getting that to level 60 and evolving our little friend Goomy there into Sliggoo. Now, obviously, you got to evolve the Sliggoo into Goodra in the rain or fog, and I'm going to be doing that one as well. So I was thinking about running a speedy, bulky but speedy Goodra physical set, because I know it gets a couple of good physical moves. You can run this one as special and physical, but I want to run as a physical one, right? Now, we're going to be giving it Earthquake as a little bit of a coverage move there. Now, I've got Body Slam and Flail in this one at the start. I thought about using those moves. I thought about doing an Endure set at the start, but I changed my mind and gave it, Earthquake instead. Now, the other moves I'm going to be giving it is an Iron Tail as well, so I could go Iron Tail Dynamax, so I could give like a +1 defense every time I use that. And I also gave it Outrage as well, so it had Stab. So it had 3 good physical sort of moves there. Now, I thought Power Whip would be a nice move to give it to. It's got some high base power. Then I get some water types and things like that. Rock types and stuff like that. I got rid of Aqua Tail. I was going to have Aqua Tail at the start, but then I sort of changed my mind then. So, this one was going to be a physical set, and it's going to be a sweeping set. So I gave it Assault Vest, but I made it like a little bit bulky. So max speed and max attack, right? Now, I went down and thought about sort of what else I could do with it. And I was like, yeah, well, I actually thought about making it a speedy one at the start. Then I was like, maybe I should make it max health and max attack. But then I changed my mind again, and we went for a max speed and max attack one. Now, I didn't use any nature modifiers on this one. I used the nature straight up. So the next Pokemon we're going to be doing, I was looking at maybe Pinchurchin. But before I did that, right, I gave my Pokemon 10 Dynamax candies, so you people couldn't, like, roast me in the comment section. Now, the next Pokemon here we got is the Pinchurchin. We're going to level that up a little bit there to level 63. Now, this one was actually a bulky special defensive nature, so I thought to make this one actually, this was calm nature, so I was like, okay, sorry, careful nature, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I should make this max health and max special defense EVs. I could actually use the move Curse as well, and it also gets Recover, so I was starting to think of a bulky Curse set, and I know it gets a couple of decent physical like moves like Zing Zap and Liquidation. So I was really feeling like going that way with this set, and I gave it Leftovers as the item. Now, the next Pokemon up here was the Timber. I started to think I'll be running a special Conkeldurr, right? Because it actually was a boosting special nature. So like, okay, we'll run a special Conkeldurr. So I evolved that. I was lucky enough someone actually traded me that back. So I'm allowed to trade Pokemon away as long as I get the same Pokemon back, which I did. I just wanted to evolve it. In a previous one, I used Alakazam too. So I thought to run a Throat Spray set with Round, which would be absolutely hilarious. I gave it Focus Miss and Grass on. Its special move pool was very barren, right? And I also popped on Hyper Beam there for a little bit of damage too. So it was an absolute horrible set. Max health and max special attack EVs that I gave it. So I gave it, the calcium and the HP up, right? Next Pokemon we're going to be looking at is Togepi. Now, I really wanted to run a a physical Togepi because this one actually came with Hustle, right? So I thought, okay, I'll use the ability that I've got, and I'll actually see if I can make use of a physical set. Now, I did notice it got a couple of good physical moves. It got stuff like Drain Punch, which I can get some health back. I can hit Steel types, plus I could bolster its attack and Dynamax if I need to. It also gets Play Rough too for Stab, which are going to be very, very handy. And it also gets Dual Wing Beat as Stab 2 from the Move Tutor. So, like, that's really cool. That's a very nice spread. I thought about the start giving it Metronome, and then I kind of changed my mind on that one too. But that was pretty much the Tokyo set there. Max Speed and Max Attack, as you can see on the screen. Next Pokemon we're going to have a look at is the Yanma. So, this is just like a really, really quick run-through of what my thought process, without all the fluff in between of me talking about stuff, right? So, we're going to get a Cofferegus here. I'm thinking of running a Trick Room set, because a lot of my Pokemon on my team are kind of slow. So, it's like, okay, maybe you can run like a special attacking Trick Room set. You know, Shadow Ball for Stab. I could give it Destiny Bond as well. And maybe Dark Pulse. I was thinking about Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball, and I was like, well, the only things that can really come into that, right, are going to be fighting Pokemon and, like, Dark-type Pokemon and anything else like that. So I gave it Body Press to make it a mix set, right, and gave it Citrus Berry. Now we're going to be leveling up a Wooloo and making that into Double. And with Double, I was thinking, we're going to be running a physical set, but it's going to be really, really fast, right, because that are boosting speed nature. I believe. Well, even if it didn't have one, I ran it as a Choice Scarf Retaliate set. That was sort of like the idea. Now, I gave it Retaliate for Stab. It also had Zen Headbutt to hit fighting type Pokemon, which was kind of nice. And I noticed it learned Copycat too, so I thought, Choice Specs Copycat, that'll be really cool. So I did all of them. I gave a couple of bottle caps to like a couple of Pokemon. Apart from that, I really didn't do too much else. Now, with my Tokus, I actually forgot to give it the the EVs in the first bit, so there you go. These are the final sets, which I'll be running through in the battles. This is just a very, very fast process to see, you know, what they were and stuff. And I gave them some awesome nicknames too, helped out by the chat. And here we go, people. Let's get into these battles. I've got two battles today. The first one was against Kamari. I think I said that one correctly. Now, I was also thinking about running this as, would you be up for like a Wonder Trade thing too, so I could get a box of Wonder Trade Pokemon and do the same thing. Let me know if you got any other ideas. So, we got a Arachnid lead here. I've got my Cofferegus. So, first thing I thought of here is, let's go for a Trick Room. Now, Arachnid's going to go for a Liquidation here. I'm running a Max Health and Max Special Attack set. Now, unfortunately for me, I'm actually going to have a defense drop there. However, I definitely would have gone down to the next Liquidation if it wasn't for Cofferegus' ability kicking in, which was Mummy. So that actually got rid of the Water Bubble, which is going to help me out a lot with the damage that Liquidation actually does. So, I've got Trick Room up. I was thinking, okay, is it going to be able to take me out of this stage? I thought, no. What I'll do is I'll go for a Shadow Ball. They may even swap to, and then I can go for a Destiny Bomb, right? So I go for that initial Shadow Ball. It does really no damage at all. Like, I don't even think also the IVs on these ones were not max either. Like, I only had a couple of bottle caps, so I just used what I had at the time, right? Maybe I could have some more in the future. I feel like it sort of adds to the challenge as well, not having like complete max IVs. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball on the Arachnid. Unfortunately, my plan to sort of like get around this with Destiny Bond, in the end, it didn't really work. So I'm actually going to be living on 3 health, which really, really sucks. So I was like, okay, let's go for Destiny Bond this turn, right? And hopefully it'll take me out. Like, I was thinking about that. And guess what, people? Instead of going for attacking move, they went for Sticky Web. So my Destiny Bond plans got absolutely destroyed there. I was talking about my Destiny Bond plans like a turn before it actually happened, but that's what happened. It was an absolute disaster, right? So I went for another Shadow Ball here, hoping I could take it out with a crit, and it doesn't crit, and now it's going to take me out with Liquidations. That was a really unfortunate start there. My Cofferegus just, I guess, is getting a bit unlucky there. I don't know if they actually predicted the Destiny Bond. Maybe they just thought they'd set Sticky Web up, and it was just, unfortunate then. So the next Pokemon is Precastly here. This was a good nickname for the Pinchurchin. Now, once again, I'll go over what this set is. This is a bulky special defense set, right? So on this set, I'm going to be making use of Curse, and I'm going to be using Curse as much as possible, and I'll be healing myself off of Recover, and then I'll be spamming Zing Zap and Liquidation for the best coverage I can possibly do, right? So this was actually a fairly long part of the battle because I thought this would be a prime opportunity to set up on this Pokemon. Now, this was actually a really interesting arachnid set, right? It had Leech Life, which is going to do like some okay damage to me, plus it's going to heal it. And then, right, it had Lunge too. So Lunge is another physical bug-type move, and Lunge 100% drops your attack every single turn. So every time I was going for a Curse, right, it would actually drop my attack one stage. However, I was still retaining my Curse boost, which was kind of nice there too. But I wasn't really getting anywhere with my attack. Like, I had a couple of initial boosts from Curse, but I really couldn't get any more against this Pokemon, right? Not that it had a lot of health left, but I thought, I kind of want to try and set myself up for a sweep. I might be able to get like 6 curses up. They didn't really obviously want to plan on swapping either. So going for another curse here, they actually dropped my defense for liquidation too. This thing was actually dropping my defense and dropping my attack at the same time. It was kind of a nasty set, like having 2 bug type moves too, which is really interesting. Like, I had like Sticky Web, 2 bug type moves in liquidation. Very, very interesting. So we got another lunge here. This thing just kept spamming lunge. What I was thinking, right, is, okay, if they swap out here, I'm going to get a lot of attack boosts up. But if they kept dropping my attack, eventually, like, I'll be very bulky, but I won't have a lot of offense. So they made me thinking maybe try to, you know, bring another Pokemon later on and take me up. I was a little bit prone on the special side too. Like, it's not super, super tanky, like, especially, it doesn't have a lot of health, really. So I was under, like, half health, so I decided to go for recover here, right? So now I've got a lot of curses up now. I'm feeling very confident that I could definitely, I could even Dynamax here and get the electric terrain in the field with Zing Zap too, and make up for myself not having many attack boosts at all, right? I should have had, by all rights, I should have had like 5 or 6, right? But this thing just dropped them every single time. So now I can go for a Zing Zap and take this thing out finally. I know this was such a big part of the actual first battle, but that's just how it was, right? I normally wouldn't set that thing out at the start. So note this little thing here too. It's actually going to get Mummy on my Pincurchin too, which actually made a difference instead of me having Lightning Rod. You probably think that Lightning Rod would be useless on this thing in a single battle, but it turned out it wasn't, which is quite funny. So the next Pokemon is Scolipede, right? So it's like, okay, Scolipede. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a Dynamax Max Lightning. Now, this thing may try and Sword Dance, Baton Pass, or even try and set itself up. I thought, there's no way it's going to be able to withstand a Zing Zap Dynamax under electric terrain. Like, even if it's a bulky set, it's going to be doing like, it'll be a 2-hit KO at absolute best, right? There's no way it's going to be, you know, be able to tank that any more turns than that. And maybe if it had like Substituters Protect or something like that. So, go for my Zing Zap. They're going to go for a Sword Dance. Like, okay. This thing is probably going to have Focus Sash, knowing that, you know, there's no way it's going to be able to live this. Like, it have to be, like, extraordinary bulky, like max health and max defense, which I was pretty confident that they weren't running. So the Scolipede is going to have the Focus Sash. At least I didn't call it Scolipod. I'm probably going to call it Scolipod now. And the Focus Sash is going to be remaining there. I can go for another Zing Zap and take it out. Now, there's a couple of Pokemon on the team that were kind of weak to electric moves too, so I thought, I wonder what they're going to swap into if they are going to use Baton Pass, right? Now, they're going to get another Speed Boost there. Speed Boost didn't really matter. Most of my team was very slow. And it's going to go for Earthquake there. Earthquake does absolutely nothing, right? Even if I wasn't in Dynamax, yeah, I would have lived that okay, right? So go for that Max Lightning on the Scolipede. And that is going to take it out, which is really, really good. So nice little start here. I've taken 2 Pokemon out. We're going for the Pincurchin Sweep, right? I've also got Leftovers as the item there, which is really, really going to be like super helpful. Now, the next Pokemon is Jolteon. Remember at the start how I said me having Lightning Rod? Like, you'd probably think that's useless, but they're going to use Electro Ball. Electro Ball actually does some pretty good damage, surprisingly. Now, if I had Lightning Rod, then they wouldn't have been able to use that move. So go for Liquidation on the Jolteon. This was my last turn of Dynamax, and it fails to take it out. I was like, man, that really sucks now, because I know they've got some Water-type Pokemon on their team which could really benefit from the rain, so I was really, really holding off on wanting to actually use that move. Now, interestingly enough, the Jolteon is going to have the Flame Orb, so like, okay, I know what this Jolteon is going to have. It's going to have Quick Feet. Quick Feet, Electro Ball, under the electric terrain, coming off its special attack, is going to do a lot of damage, right? It almost takes me out with max health and max special defense. I am able to get 1 recover off, which is going to be really, really good, putting me over well over half health and getting the leftover recovery. Now, the Jolteon unfortunately took a little bit more, well, unfortunately for them, not unfortunately for me, took a little bit too much damage from my Liquidation Max Geyser, and that is going to be going down in one shot. But I would have not liked to have faced that one continually. Now, the next Pokemon, this is the Pokemon I was talking about that's going to hit very hard in the rain, which is Wishy-Washy. Now, Wishy-Washy isn't a really fast Pokemon, But since I've got like -5 or 6 in attack, there's no way I'm going to be outspeeding this thing. So I could go for Zing Zap. I know Zing Zap will take it out, or almost take it out. But man, this thing, if it's got like any remote special attack, is going to destroy my Pinch Urchin. I probably called that Pukey Mook in this battle at least once. Okay, so down goes Pinch Urchin, rip the Pinch Urchin sweep. I've actually done a Pinch Urchin sweep before, like when Sword and Shield first started. So if you like that Pokemon, maybe you want to, have a look at that video later on. Okay, so we're going to go into Lamb Sauce. This is actually a reference from Gordon Ramsay. I'm sure you know that, where's the lamb sauce, that sort of thing, or, where's the sauce? So anyway, we got to go for a Retaliate there. It only does half health to Wishy Washy because, Wishy Washy is kind of fat, and we're coming off a really bad attack here. So Scold's going to burn me right, but I lived on 1 health, so I didn't even care. Like, I can plug my own merch. Like, the merch is available, people, below the video. Go check some. Go hit some of that up. And we're going to go for a Retaliate there and do 2 damage to Wishy Washy, and it's going to take me out with a Scald. So, unfortunately, poor old Double didn't do too much there. I mean, it got their first initial Retaliate, like that double base power on it, my Pokemon fainting, but then after that, the wheels sort of fall off. Well, the wolf sort of fell off. So, we're going to go into Conkyelder, which I thought was really good, because obviously we're going to use Round, right? It's going to have Throat Spray. So, Throat Spray is going to activate and boost our special attack by 1 stage. Now, I'm thinking right here, I want to use Round and I want to get my Throat Spray out, right? How much is this going to do to me? And it does like a stupid amount of damage to my Conkyelder. So I'm going to go for Round. And man, look at the damage on that, all right? That did heaps. Unfortunately now, I can't use Grass Knot and take it out. I would have loved to use Grass Knot and take it out, but it's going to outspeed me and my Conkyelder is going to go down. The initial Grass Knot wouldn't have taken it out because it's coming off Conkyelder's like trash special attack. I could have used Focus Mist, but it could have missed as well. So poor Potato Nose is going to go down, but he'll be back in the next battle. So we're going to go into Toga Mist now, which is my Hustle Toga set, very appropriately named. So we've got Dual Wing Beat with 40 base power, it's going to hit twice, or we've got Play Rough with 90 base power and 90% accuracy. So they were both pretty much exactly the same. Play Rough was like a little bit stronger, but Dual Wing Beat could get like a crit. But I decided to go in the end for Play Rough, and that was just enough probably to take out the Wishy Washy there, which was really, really good. So things are going all right. I'm back into the game. I'm clutching hard, but remember, they haven't Dynamaxed yet. So now they're going to bring in the Starmie, go for a Psychic. Togekiss eats that really well. I mean, Toga Miss. I'm going to go for the Play Rough there. Does some really impressive damage to Starmie. And then Starmie is going to have Recover. So this was kind of annoying. Like, this is super annoying. Because this thing going to essentially keep using Recover until I miss, which I did the second turn. So I was like, bugger. And then they missed with Hydro Miss. I was like, okay, this is kind of good. Like, if I can keep hitting this right, keep putting the pressure on the Starmie, I might be able to take it out. Now, what I did right, I thought, I'm probably gonna miss more than they do. So what I'm gonna do is swap into Goodra, right, which is gonna be real good. In this case, it's gonna be real Bandra for them. So I could go for a Power Whip here. I know that Power Whip will definitely take Starmie out on that low amount of health, and they may be tempted to go for a Psychic too to do some damage. So that Assault Vest is really, really good. I tanked that very nicely. Goodra's also already naturally bulky on that side too, so Psychic does absolutely nothing. Going for the Power Whip, it's going to land on the Starmie, and that is going to go down, which is brilliant. So they've only got one more Pokemon left. Now, this Pokemon is very, very scary. It's going to be the Gyarados. Now, Gyarados is an extremely, extremely good Pokemon on Dynamax. So I was like, okay. Now, I also noticed one thing as well. They did not have Intimidate, so I'm gonna bet everything they've got, this thing has got Moxie, right? So, obviously, they've got the Moxie Gyarados. If they take one of my Pokemon out with an Airstream or something like that, it is over. Like, all I've got left is, like, after this Goodra is my, my previous Pokemon, right? So, first thing they're going to go for Max Guard. Is like, okay, maybe they're going to see what I'm going to do. Now, Togekiss is not going to get actually affected by Sticky Web 2, which is, like, one of the few Pokemon. And so I thought I might be able to outspeed them there. Then they're going to go for a Max Airstream and take my Goodra out, which is Bandra, That's not very good at all. My Bandra's gone down. So that's going to go down, and the Moxie Gyarados is going to get +1 in attack and +1 in speed. So this thing is like, it's full sweat basically. Like I was wondering, like I was scared about this thing the whole time. So now I'm going to go into Togekiss here. We got 2 minutes left of the battle. Gyarados is going to go for another Max Guard, obviously seeing what I'm going to use against it. And physical Togekiss, let me tell you that it doesn't have a lot of options. Really, it doesn't have a lot. Like Play Rough or Dual Wing Beat, that is pretty much it, right? So I went for the Play Rough here. They're going to go for a Waterfall, and they are going to take my Togekiss down. A very, very good first battle there, but just Gyarados was just, like, Gyarados is such a good Pokemon. That was a very, very hard one at the end there, especially Dynamax. But a very good battle with this team, considering they're not max IVs and some pretty janky sets. Let's get on to Battle 2. This one was against Ian, and man, this is a very, very funny battle as well. Now, these battles were against randoms on my Twitch chat too, so basically I just searched random battle on the Ycom and everyone was watching the battles. That was really cool. So this was an interesting battle too. So we got a Escu set. I'm going to take a little bit of drink here. I'm going to melt a little bit of ice in my cup. First turn, right, they go for belly drum. I'm like, man, it's got to be one of these battles. So it's got an insta +6, right? Now, my only saving grace here is I went for Trick Room. So like, okay, Trick Room's going to be good. Now, I'm running max health and max special attack. But this is a Coppericus, right? It doesn't have, like, super maxes in anything. So I was like, okay, it's probably just going to one-shot me here with, like, an ice type move. Let's go for Destiny Bomb. And they, instead of going for an ice type move, they go for Zen Headbutt. I was like, what the heck? It didn't even take me out. Obviously, because it's not stabbed. And Coppericus got some nice base defense, right? So that was an absolute balls up. So now I got my Citrus Berry. I was like, geez, man, what can I do here? So I went for Shadow Ball. Now, Shadow Ball is going to bypass the Ice Face, right? But Chili Willy's going to have a berry, and it's going to get back to half health again. And now, right, it could just easily take me out with any sort of move. So it's going to go for Waterfall this time, and Waterfall is not going to miss, and Coppericus is going to go down. So that was, once again, a really bad start there. Like, just, I guess just unlucky. Like, I felt like they would have gone for a stab move, definitely after using Belly Drum. Anyway, so we're going to bring in Conk Yelder here. I'm going to go for a Focus Miss. A Focus Miss is going to land, and Escu is going to go down. So it felt good actually taking Escu out with Conk Yelder. Probably one of the more useless Pokemon on my team, but, you know, under the Trick Room, it outsped stuff. So the next Pokemon, probably the funniest Pokemon on the team, was Mewtwo called No Use. So I was like, what is this set going to be? I like this. Once again, these were like a random Ycom person. So go for the Hyper Beam there. I actually fired a Hyper Beam out of my potato nose, and it did like 2 damage. So Mewtwo, right, is going to have Metronome. This is a Metronome Mewtwo called No Use. I was like, oh, what is this going to do, right? So it's going to go for a Charm, and by all means, if I was running a physical set, that actually would have been like a Fire Metronome move. But, you know, I'm running a physical, like a special set, not a physical one, right? So Mewtwo is going to go for a Metronome. This is its only move, right? It's going to try and kiss me, and it did kiss me. It kissed me on the nose again. So, wait, that maybe not have been in the nose, but you know, more like the nether region of Conk Yelder. Now, anyway, Conk Yelder is confused, right? And Mewtwo is going to go for another Metronome. And Metronome is actually going to get Electrify this turn. So, like, okay, Electrify. Now, I was on recharge then from my Hyper Beam. So I thought maybe I should go for Hyper Beam again or go for Round and boost my special attack on this thing, right? So I went for Round, and I'm going to get my Throat Spray. So Round does like, well, it does no damage at all, and I get a +1 in special attack. So now I'm thinking I could go for a Focus Miss here. Focus Miss will probably do as much as Hyper Beam because it's stab. I know that's not very effective, but they'll actually do kind of similar damage. So we got the Mewtwo going for a Shadow Ball now, and actually coming off as special attack does a lot of damage to me, and it drops my special attack too. So like, if I get hit by one more special move from this Metronome No You Mewtwo, I'm definitely going to be going down, right? So Mewtwo's going to waggle its little finger again, and now they're going to get Flash Cannon, like 2 special moves in a row. It's like, man, I'm done for now. So it hits me really hard. I live on 21 health, and I pop a Hyper Beam straight out of my Snozzle again. So this one hits like really, really hard on the Mewtwo, but it actually doesn't take it out. Mewtwo managed to live. But get this right, get this. Mewtwo goes for Metronome, and then Mewtwo goes for Safeguard. It's like, okay, no hacks for me. Like, that's kind of unfortunate. But so even if it uses a status move, I've got it, right? But if it doesn't use a status move, like at this stage, it can take me out the tackle. And then it uses its own Hyper Beam. I can't believe it. It used the move that I was using, so Hyper Beam Mewtwo on your PIMPNITE channel, people, and Conk Yelder is going to go down. Like, if this random person ever watches this team, I will say props for the Metronome Hyper Beaming Mewtwo. Okay, so I thought this was prime real estate to go for my Togemis here, because it was on like a recharge. So I thought, okay, I can go for a Dynamax Togemis, which won't miss, right? Because it'll be a Dynamax. And then I can get like a free max Knuckle Up, which is going to be beautiful. Now, I may even pop Weakness Policy on this too if they do hit me with a super effective move. And that could be really good if I get like a max Airstream. I'm like, no joke, under a Weakness Policy, a +1, and like an Airstream. This Togemis will hit like pretty hard. So now Mewtwo's going to be a recharge, which is brilliant there. It could be the first time I've ever versed a Hyper Beam Mewtwo in Gen 8. Maybe even in Gen 7 too. I don't know, like, I'm trying to remember the last time I versed a Hyper Beam Mewtwo. Like, take Generation 1 away for an example. Like, I'm trying to think really hard here. I don't think I have. So anyway, the next Pokemon is Mudsdale. This Pokemon caused me a lot of trouble, right? So we know that it's got stamina, right? Well, I'm assuming that it's got stamina. So like, okay, if I hit this at the max airstream, it's going to activate stamina, and that's going to boost its defense one stage. My only great saving grace here would be if it goes for a super effective move, right? Activates my weakness policy, and then I get a couple of juicy hits in before, you know, stamina actually equals the boost that I just got for weakness policy. That sort of thing. I need to somehow get this Pokemon down on a low man health, and they're going to Dynamax Mudsdale, and this thing is going to be so tanky. Like, it's already a really tanky Pokemon as it is. So go for the max airstream there on their Mudsdale, and it does below half. And I was like, man, this is not going to be good. So I get a +1 in speed, and they're going to have stamina. It's going to give it a +1 defense. So I was like, okay, bad. Now, interestingly enough, a bad thing here, well, a bad and a good thing, right? Weakness policy is going to get activated by max steel spikes. Like, okay, that's really good. But the bad thing is, right, it's going to get a +1 in defense. So not only has it got that, it's got stamina as well. So this thing can bolster its defense super fast, especially if I have to keep hitting it, which I have to, you know, like, all of my moves are special. So I can go for a max knuckle, sure, but I'll do like 1 damage, or I can go for a max airstream again, and, you know, do the same amount of damage that I basically did turn 1, or very, like, similar sort of damage that I did then. So go for that max airstream. It's a clear 3-hit KO. If this doesn't get any more stamina boost up, of course, it's going to get one up from that hit. And I've put it on a lot of man health, so that's really good. I can swap in another Pokemon and possibly take that out now. Like, I really need to go for that. So this was probably one of the funniest moments of the battle. Well, coming up, right? So I noticed that Mudsdale used Max Strike there. So I'm like, okay, it's got a normal type move. That's really good. I might be able to make use of that. So now Togekiss is out of its Dynamax. Just remember the normal type move that it used. Like, he used Max Strike. That's all you got to remember that. So I've got Dual Wing Beat, Play Rough. It's like, okay, Play Rough's going to do more damage. I'll go for that. I don't even think that this is definitely not going to take it out, right? Because I know Mudsdale, and it's coming off a physical Togekiss, for goodness sake. So I'm going to give Mudsdale another +1 in defense, and Mudsdale is going to go for a Max Strike here. So like another normal type move. Cool. Now, remember the Pokemon, remember the double that had Copycat? I was like, if I swap this in, right, I could be smart and go for Copycat, right, and copy that normal type move and take out the Mudsdale. That'll be perfect, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go for the Copycat Choice Scarf on the Mudsdale. Obviously, it's out of that, and it's going to copy the last move that we used in the battle. Now, so I'm going to do a little tumble here, and guess what, people? It was Endeavor. You wouldn't believe it, so it's not going to work right, and now it's going to go for Endeavor again, and oh, man, I tried to be a troll, but I'm Choice Scarf, right? So I had to swap out because I was locked into using Copycat Endeavor for, like, the rest of my sheepy life, right? So I'm going to swap into Goodra, right? They're going to go for an Iron Head. That would have taken me out, so that's a good thing that I swapped. It does a fair amount of damage to my Badger as well, which is kind of bad. So I'm going to go for the Power Whip here. This is probably my only move to take this thing out. And the Warhorse is finally going to go down. But that Mudsdale was really bad there. I thought it'd be a troll with Copycat, but I got trolled so hard there. So the next Pokemon is a Escavalier. This thing has got monstrous attack and really good defenses. So I was like, look at my moveset right now. What am I even going to... I can't even scratch the surface. Like, so I'm going to swap into Lamb Sauce and just see what move it's going to use, right? I really wanted to use Copycat Knockoff on this thing because I knew that it probably would use Knockoff, but, you know, I didn't have a lot of options at this point because most of my Pokemon are down. So I've got Pinchurch left and I've got Goodra, which is... kind of good. So I've got Pregace here. What this is going to do, I thought this would be great to set curses up, and now they start spamming Iron Head. I'm like, I know what they're going to do. Even though it's not very effective, they're going to try and flinch me. So I thought I need to get as many curses up here as humanly possible. Then I might be able to take out, you know, this Escavalier and maybe, you know, the remaining Pokemon. Now, there was one move I was really concerned about, apart from, like, Mega Horn or whatever like that. It was Drill Run, because Drill Run would be super effective, plus it has a chance of critting, but, I was thinking, okay, they definitely don't have Drill Run. They would have used it already, right? And, of course, they were getting flinches with their Iron Head, too, which was really annoying. So I thought, okay, if I get maybe 3 to 4 curses up against things, Zing Zap should do some, like, nice damage to this Escavalier, right? So this was my third curse. It's actually very similar to the first battle. Like, I come across a physical Pokemon. I started to get the curse up, but, you know, then the gradual damage... sort of like decrease what they're doing to me. I mean, in a lot of cases, though, the Drill Run would have definitely got past this sort of matchup there. So they're going to swap out their Escavalier, and now they're going to go to Arcanine. So like, Arcanine, Alright, maybe they're running Will-O-Wisp or something like that. Will-O-Wisp could be really bad. And they've got Intimidate too, that's going to drop my attack. So, okay, that's annoying, but I can just curse up again, right? So this turn, I went for Recover, because I thought that was a good play there, because I'm already at like half damage on my health. Now we're back to full health, and now I can go for Zing Zap. They still got 3 Pokemon remaining, right? So I can go for Liquidation or Zing Zap. You know, I was thinking maybe it's got weakness pulses. Let's go for Liquidation. Let's go for it. Extreme Speed is going to do nothing. I thought they may go for a Will-O-Wisp, but since they've got Extreme Speed, I'm thinking maybe they just want to conserve their health instead of using Flare Blitz, you know? So I'm going to go for yet another Curse here. This Pidgeotto is so bulky now. There is no way they're going to be able to get around this, right? So I've got that ultimate bulk there. Now Arcanine is going to go for Extreme Speed again. They really don't want to go for Flare Blitz, but I feel like at this stage they need to get some damage off, right? So go for Liquidation, and it's super effective. There's no weakness policy though. It's like, okay, that's good. Now I'm going to get some leftover recovery on my Pinchurchin, and they're going to go, I'm thinking they have to go for Flare Blitz this turn, and now they're going to go for Flare Blitz. I mean, Flare Blitz, when you look at it, it did nothing as well. It really didn't do too much more, and they took, recoil damage. And then I got Flinch. They are running a King's Rock Arcanine. So I thought they might have weakness policy, but they didn't. They had King's Rock on their Arcanine. So it's been a fat minute since I've seen King's Rock Arcanine. So I'm going to hit by another Flare Blitz there. It's still not doing lots of damage to me, just a little bit. And I'm going to go for Liquidation and take out their Arcanine. So I thoroughly walled their Arcanine. And, of course, their Scavalier too. So like, what's going to go? It has to be another Pokemon. The last Pokemon has to come in. I know what it is, and I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to have any problems with this at all. So the next Pokemon is Scavalier. I was like, okay, what's this going to do? Like, it's used Iron Head to flinch me. It's got Knockoff. You'd think it would probably have a Bug-type move, and I don't know, maybe like I really wasn't sure, right? So it's going to go for another Iron Head there. It doesn't flinch me, and I'm going to go for Zing Zap. Zing Zap is a clear 2-hit KO against me. Their only hope here would be to crit me. That's pretty much it. They need a critical hit and a flinch. So now they're going to go for Knockoff. Knockoff does a little bit of damage. They get rid of my leftovers. So what? Doesn't really matter that much, right? So go for another Zing Zap, and a Scavalier is going to go down. Now, I was very confident at this point in the game. Like, extremely confident. Then Greedent happened, right? So it's like, okay, Greedent, well, I know that Greedent gets stuffed, like, if it's got stuffed cheeks or something like that, it might be annoying to get around on the defensive side. And then they pop another belly drum. I was like, what? Oh no, this is really bad, because I'm getting set up on hunt. I need to take this out desperately. So go for the Zing Zap on the Greedent. Greedent is so bulky. It managed to lift that, and it's going to eat a berry, right? And that berry is going to get eaten real hard. And now, right, Cheek Pouch is going to kick in, and it's going to heal itself. So it's like, oh no. So now, right, it's got plus in attack. And I'm below half health right now. So Belly Drum is going to, like, any attacker is going to drop hard against me. It's going to get rid of all those curse boosts. And Pinchurchin is going to go down. All I've got left now is my Gooch is like, oh, I'm done. It's GG, you know, like, this thing can use any move. I'm not that bulky. It's a sweeping set. Sure, I'll just go for Outrage. I'm going to need a crit to take this out. Critting is my only way. So I went for the Outrage here on the Greedent, hoping for crit. I didn't get the crit. I'm like, oh, that sucks really badly. And then it uses C-Bomb, and Sipper kicks in. I was like, oh my god, that actually didn't affect me. Plus, it gives me a +1 in attack. I'm going to outspeed them, and I'm locked into Outrage, right? And now I'm going to actually outspeed them and take them out with the Outrage. Man, they must have been salty after that. They must have been so salty. Any other move they would have won. Hope you people enjoyed both those battles. It was a very fun series, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.